So now let us try to calculate the moment of inertia of a thin rod. So by thin rod I simply mean that if we are given with a rod of thickness t, the thickness of this particular rod would be tending to 0, that is, the thickness of the rod t would be negligible as compared to the length of this rod, if this rod is of length L. So let us assume that we are given with a rod of mass m and length L, and we are trying to calculate the moment of inertia about an axis which is perpendicular to the length of the rod and passing through its center. So what do we do is, at a distance x from the center of the rod, we consider this is the center of the rod. At a distance x from the center of the rod, we consider an element of length dx. So again, like before, we assume the mass of this element as dm. So let us calculate dm. So in this case, we are assuming mass is distributed uniformly over the length of the rod. So dm would be simply m by L times dx. So what is the moment of inertia of this particular element with respect to this axis of rotation? It would be simply di, let's call this as di, and di would be simply dm times x square. So let us substitute the values. It would be simply m by L times x square dx. So what would be the net moment of inertia of this entire rod? It would be simply integral of di. So it would be simply m by L times integral of x square dx, where the limits of x are from minus L by 2, this is for this particular extreme point, to plus L by 2, which is with respect to this particular extreme point. So the limit of x are from minus L by 2 to plus L by 2. So let's simplify this. It would be simply m by L times x cube by 3, and the limits are from minus L by 2 to plus L by 2. So it is simply m by 3L times L cube by 8 plus L cube by 8. So we write it as m times 2m L cube by 3L times 8. So let's simplify this. So we obtain the result as, we obtain I as m L square by 12. So the moment of inertia of a rod with respect to an axis which is passing through its center is simply given as m L square by 12. Now let us try to calculate the moment of inertia of the same rod which is of mass m and length L with respect to an axis which is passing through one of its ends. So what do we do in this case? Again we follow the same traditional approach, that is, we consider an element which is located at a distance x from this particular axis of rotation and which is of thickness dx, and we consider the mass of this element as dm. So like before, dm would be simply m by L times dx. So similarly di would be dm times x square, and I would be integral of di, which is integral of dm times x square, and on substituting the values we get it as m by L times x square dx, where the limits of integration are from 0 to L. So let's find out this particular result. It would be simply m by L times L cube by 3. So what do we obtain? The moment of inertia of this same rod with respect to the axis which is passing through its end is given as ml square by 3. So the moment of inertia in this previous case where the axis of rotation was passing through the center was given by ml square by 12, and now in this particular case it is given as ml square by 3. So in this case the moment of inertia of the rod has increased. So that's why we can conclude that if the axis of rotation of the rod is passing through its center, it's much easier to rotate as compared to the case when the axis of rotation is passing through one of the ends. So this particular case is more difficult to rotate as compared to this particular case. Now let us try to calculate the moment of inertia of a rod with respect to an axis which is along the length of this particular rod. So we are given with a rod of mass m and length l, and in this particular rod the axis of rotation is along the length of the rod. And for simplicity, let us assume the cross section of this rod is circular. So we are given with a rod with a circular cross section, and we are trying to rotate this rod about an axis which is passing along the length of the rod. So what is the moment of inertia of this rod with respect to this particular axis? So from previous discussions it is quite clear that we can shrink the dimension which is parallel to the axis of rotation. So we can shrink the length of this particular rod, and we are simply gonna get a disc which is of radius t by 2 and which is of the same mass. So what is the moment of inertia of this particular disc with respect to this axis of rotation? Let's call this as I. So I would be simply mr square by 2, where the mass of the rod is m and the radius of the rod is t by 2. So it would be m times t by 2 whole square by 2. So what are we left out with? It is simply mt square by 8. So it is quite evident that for any rod T is very less than L. In previous two cases where the axis of rotation was passing through one of its end, or it was passing through the center and perpendicular to the length of the rod, the moment of inertia that we calculated was either ml square by 12 or ml square by 3. So if the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the length of the rod, the moment of inertia of the rod is proportional to L square, and if axis of rotation is parallel to the length of the rod, the moment of inertia of the rod is proportional to T square. Now T square is very less than L square in all the cases. So the moment of inertia of the rod when axis of rotation is parallel to length would be very less than the moment of inertia of the rod when axis of rotation is perpendicular to the length of the rod. So for this particular reason, you might recall in the first lecture from moment of inertia, it is much easier to rotate a rod when the axis of rotation is parallel to the length of the rod as compared to the case when the axis of rotation was perpendicular to the length of the rod.